All right, so what we have, this is gonna be Thursday, phase 7. It's gonna be similar to the AMRAP style that we're doing this month, but it's gonna be all upper body today. So we're gonna have 5 stations, 4-minute AMRAPs at each station for the first week, and then after that, it's gonna be 4.5 minutes. What they're doing is 10 reps of every exercise for as many rounds as they can. So there's gonna be 2 exercises per station, 10 and 10, just alternating between them as many rounds in 4 minutes. And then they're gonna be rotating around the 5 stations that we have. And again, it's all upper body on this day.
All right, guys, we're gonna start off on the ground. We're gonna have plate skull crushers. We've done these a ton. Overhead, right? Coming down, try to touch right above our head, squeezing up every time. We want to get full extension as they come all the way up. I do like the legs to be tucked. Keeps the back nice and flat against the ground. Make sure they have good core stability. We have 10 reps on this. Don't be afraid to challenge people to go a little bit heavier. So if you're using 10s, then go to 15. From 15, they can actually put 2 10s together. We can go to 35s and 45s. So have them challenge themselves on that. From there, you're just going to take the plate to the side, lay it down. We're going to come up into a push-up position, feet stable, and we're going to walk over. It's going to be 1, 2. So this hand stays in the middle every time. When one hand stays in the middle, this hand's about our count. 3, 4, 5, 6, right? You see how my feet stay in the same place? Because we don't want them to cover too much ground walking across, because we're going to be a little limited on space as usual. So we're going to do 10 total there. They're going to roll back over, skull crushers. Today's upper body's going to get smoked. So we got to make sure that we do go challenging weights. However, we don't want to go too much because we have to go from here to upper body, to upper body, to upper body. So a little bit lighter today is not the worst idea in general. So what we have on this one, we have 10 reps of the skull crushers followed by 10 walk across. But we got to teach them how to count it. 1, 2, 3, okay? Modification for that is some people have issues just going across in that position because they're not stable enough. So our big modification would be is just get away, not worry too much about the plate, and they can just be here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. I do think 90% of people are going to be able to walk across, however, just in case. Now, we do have some pretty heavy people. Moving to exercise number 2. First one we're going to do is the seesaw row. So on a seesaw row, we're going to have both dumbbells. From here, we got to get our core nice and tight, abs tight. Then we're going to RDL that position. From here, we're going to start with 1 in the pocket, 1 long, coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Core, strength, integrity here. Make sure they're not rounding. Strong. If they start to round, lighter is better. Get in that tall position. Now, some people have bad lower backs, don't have the stability there, or their belly's just too big, they can't get in that position. We're going to bring them over here. We still want them to challenge their weight. You're probably going to be a little bit lighter weight on this one than you will be on this one. We're going to put our body into the ground or into the box. Staggered stance, pull up. They're going to do 10 on one side, next round through catch the other side as they're doing this variation, okay? From there, we're going to do cross body hammer curls. So realistically, if I was doing this, my weight on the row and my weight on the crossbody hammer curl are probably going to be different. So I'm okay with people choosing. We have plenty of dumbbells, we're not using them for anything else, so they can choose 2 different weights on this one if they need. I don't know if it's going to matter too much because we got so much upper body in general that it won't, but some people's biceps just aren't that strong. So in this position, crossbody hammer curl, we're just going to cross our body to that midline, come back down. Cross the body to the midline, back down. Big thing is don't let that elbow come through or don't let it move side to side. It's just in place, curl up and down. They will be able to be generally heavier on this movement than if they did just a regular bicep curl, because in the hammer curl we're using a lot more of the outer part of the shoulder. We have a little bit more muscle engagement coming through. Just crossing the body. 10 total. So 1, 2, 3, 10 total. Seesaws, 10 total. That one's 10 on one side if you choose that option. Exercise number 3, we're going to be in the wall. So we will have these mats out for everybody because we're going to need them for the second part of this exercise. So we're just going to have people go ahead and use this as their station, lying down on the mat. This might be a station that if it's a really hot day, it might be worth taking the water bottles and stuff, or the spray bottles, and putting them here because these mats might need to get wiped down if people get super sweaty. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to lay back. We're going to come up into a chest press, so we're doing medicine ball and sit-up pass, come up. 1, 2, and so forth. We're doing 10 reps. Weight-wise, probably 10 to 14 is pretty good for a lot of people. Some of our not as strong in their core people are going to be in that 6 to 10 range. Some people can't do it with medicine ball at all, so they might just have to do a wall here, up, or they can do a wall, feet the wall, sit up as well in that position. Medicine ball is not the most important, only if it's a challenging progression for them, okay? Then from there, they'll roll over on their knees, and we're doing archer presses. 1, 2, 3, 10 total on that. See how my arms just get completely locked out at top? All the way down. We want to watch for that lockout. This is probably an exercise where I'll have 2 different weights. I'm probably going to do a chest pass with a 10 or a 12, and then I'll probably have a 20 or 30 pounder for my archer press. So it's okay to bring those heavier balls out and have them over here and tell people, hey, you can use 2 different weights for this one. Remember, it's 10 and 10 on this one. Moving on to station number 4. We're using the TRXs. So we're going to actually take the TRXs and set up and have all 3 of them over on this side. Let's actually set 4 of them up just in case we have a class that have coaches in them. Let's make sure we bring 4 over so the coaches can have a spot too. So from here, we're going to lean back into it. Our first variation is going to be a TRX High Row. So we haven't done this one before. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our hands in that overhead we call prone position. We're going to pull towards the top of the shoulders, almost the neck area. Squeeze those shoulder blades tight, control back out. From here, you can make it a little bit harder by walking under. Nice, strong plank the whole time. Out, and out. So what we're trying to feel this in is that upper back range position. They always want to make sure they're looking up here, because especially if we're pulling towards that upper back position, we don't want to be looking down. We put extra tension. So if I'm in this position here, and I'm looking down, put even more extra tension on the top of my lats. So we want to make sure that we're looking up, so we put that pressure in the mid-back. From there, we'll turn it around, we'll do 10. Turn around, do TRX Tricep Extension. So here, think of skull crushers. You're just coming right towards your head, right? Touch towards your skull. I say aim for the temples, drive away. Aim for the temples, drive away. Okay? So in that position, make it harder. I just walk back. Baby steps make a world of difference on this one. My elbows, I want to keep kind of narrow, but they're going to naturally shoot out just a little bit, see how they go wide. I can't keep them super narrow because there's no space for it, but they're going to be, we just want them way out here, right? We want to make sure it's in the tricep, pressing in. Now, so 10 and 10. Last station we have in this one, we're going to have lat band pull downs. So realistic, well, on this one we'll probably have reds, blacks, and purples up here because people can't, some of our people are pretty strong in their lats, so bigger bands are going to be needed. So from here, we're just going to take the bands from the side, straight arms, pulling down, touching their hips all the way down, back up. You see how I got a nice wide extension on that band? I'm not tight here, pulling down. There's no room for the lats to really engage because more tricep. I need to get those lats wide and get good engagement from my back, pulling down and up. So we'll have 10 reps on that one. For most guys, you're gonna have to have purples up there if they're gonna do it. But if they get their hands too narrow, get them out wide and really engage that position. So 10 reps. Then we'll have bands hanging out here with a handle on them. So from here, they come out a little ways, forward nice and tight. I want their feet across from each other. We call it square feet, right? Square feet here, pull it to that shoulder, abs tight, we're pressing out, control back. All right, we want to think about engaging that chest. Come back. You see how I'm coming towards the middle every time? I'm not pushing straight up. I'm pushing towards the middle. And if you feel that position, your chest will actually move and squeeze. Come back. We're going to do 10. Come back and do the lat pull downs. Next round, after that lat pull down will come, I'll do 10